Hi everybody, Dr. Zach here. Wanted to shoot out a quick video this week with our Cultivating Healthy Habits email. And I'm excited to share with you just kind of a personal epiphany of the power of micro habits and how quickly they can create a change. I did a workshop a few weeks ago at our church, and as I was preparing for it, I really felt like God had downloaded some things to me, some insights, some revelations that I'd never experienced before. But it really talked about the power of, as we start with a thought and then we actually vocalize it and we speak it out, and then we'll receive some kind of a revelation or an action step, and we can take an action on that, that's when we see breakthrough take place. And that really is what happens with our habits, is that we take and we look at life and we kind of go, okay, here's an area I'd like to see some improvement. And we take and we determine, we speak, we take and resolve to make a habit so that we can start to implement that, and then we actually have to take the action step with that. And we got to see how quickly this can create a change in literally our genetic expression. We call it epigenetics, that we all have these genetic predispositions to certain things, the way that we live, that affects our metabolism, our propensity to disease or certain health related issues. And that we can change that genetic expression by changing our habits. And it's the little habits that can make the biggest difference. I want to give you a quick testimony. A lot of you know that we've got our beloved pet, Remington, our pet golden retriever. And just a few weeks ago, she started to get sick, and her energy decreased and her appetite went away, and she was just laying around, which for a 4-year-old golden retriever just isn't normal at all. And it got to the points to where she was really, we thought we were going to have to put her down. She just had no energy. And it's kind of interesting is that I spent some time praying. I said, Lord, I need some answers here. Give me some revelation to what's going on. And I have all these little communion cups because we do communion here at the office on a consistent basis. We have these at our house because we do it at our house as well. And so as Remington's laying on the floor, my wife and I and my mom, we actually take communion together. And I pull out the little wafer and I offered some to my dog, and she wouldn't even take it. I took and I dipped my finger into the grape juice and put it in her mouth, and there was no response. So she was really, really in a sick place. And we had taken her to the vet. They had some blood work that was done. Long story short, they had diagnosed her with lymphoma. And so we were kind of at this place going, God, what do we do? We found a referral to a specialist, and so we went, and they came up with a whole battery of tests and everything else that they wanted to do. And obviously I wasn't compelled to do any of that. I just wanted to know if there's anything we could do to help her to get her strength back, so then we could start making some epigenetic changes. And it turned out she was severely dehydrated. So they took and they shaved around her wrist, and they put an IV in, and she spent the night at the animal hospital getting rehydrated, some IV fluids back into her. We picked her up the next afternoon, and she was doing better. She had a little bit of spunk back. But during that time, I've been praying, Lord, give me the answers. I don't know what's going on. I don't know a solution. I'm not experienced in this. And one of my favorite passages in the Bible is Jeremiah 33:3. And it says, call to me, says the Lord, and I will answer you, and I will reveal to you great and marvelous things that you couldn't come up with on your own. So I was actually up most of one of the nights praying this, and I got out my notebook and I just started writing down some things that were coming to my mind, and some questions to ask, some people to take and to bounce some ideas off of. Long story short, we put together a program where we changed her diet completely, and started giving her a lot of bone broth. We actually given her some coconut water. We took and we were doing raw meats and adding some medicinal mushrooms, and just really doing some things to try to build up her immune system. And I found a detox for dogs, because with lymphoma, it's a toxicity issue that's going on. So we started giving that to her as well. And long story short is she has actually more energy now than she's had in a long time. And some of the challenges that we've had with her for the past 4 years, which are skin issues, constant itching, allergy stuff, licking her feet. All of that is gone. Her abdomen was kind of dark, gray, charcoal color, and the vet told us it was because of the allergies that she had and the skin sensitivities. It's all gone. It's pink. It's healthy. We just got back from a week in Grand Lake, and I could not get her out of the water. She was swimming the entire time. We did a couple of long hikes, and her energy is great. And so what we saw with her was just a couple of little changes in nutrition and changes in the way that we treated her because of the prayer that we put into it and the expectation that we were going to see changes take place. And that there's a completely different genetic expression in her, that predisposition to allergies and skin issues is gone. And that I'm convinced right now that the healing is taking place on a cellular level from the inside out, and that she's being completely healed and restored. That's the same power that happens when each of us chooses to make a thought, to take some and speak it into existence, to resolve to stick with it, and to take the action that comes along with that. The power of small habitual changes to change the expression of our genetics. Let me encourage you today, take some time and think, what is the habit you want to incorporate? And it can be small. It can be a little bit of change in the way that you eat, change in the way that you think, change in when you go to bed or when you wake up, change of just getting up and looking at the sunshine in the morning as it's coming up, going to bed on a consistent time basis, getting some habits back into your life that are actually going to cultivate and nurture health and healing and repair. And speak to it. Share with somebody that that's what you're going to do, and then take the action. We've got to do all three of those pieces, and then we start to see changes take place. And it can be quick. My guess is that when you resolve to do this, you're going to be blown away by how quick you're going to see epigenetic change take place in your life. So with that said, I hope this encourages you to take a small step today, determine to incorporate a new habit, and then stick with it. Get ready to see some great changes. With that said, God bless you. This is Dr. Zach. Make today powerful.